Brady Tkachuk, amazing. 6th season already, 300 points, all-star bound. Scott, to you and Louie and Brady.
Thank you, Ron. When we have a Tkachuk on After Hours, we know we're going to get what they call facts. And so we're delighted to have Brady with us tonight, especially because we don't often get a chance to have the stars of the Eastern Conference on the program. So welcome and congratulations on your 4th consecutive All-Star selection.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, game 3 of a 5-game road trip tonight that really is going the way of the Senators season. So let's start there, Louie.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was a pretty hard-fought battle tonight. You guys stuck around right to the end. You made it a 1-goal game in the third, but in the end, they found a way to win it. Tough one for you guys, but I thought you kind of played a more consistent, solid game and really checked well tonight.
Yeah, it's frustrating right now. It's I think everybody in that locker room hates to lose, and just didn't expect the position we're kind of in right now. So we just have to find a way to work our way out of it, and yeah, it's just. It's going to be our work and our details that are going to get us out of this.
You knew that was a goal. You came over and looked at the screen over the bench and were like, that's a goal, let's get going, and that kind of sparked your team a bit, eh?
Yeah, well, I definitely thought that was going to be meant to be. That was going to be a perfect way to turn our season around, just grind one out like that. So it's unfortunate, it's just the way it's going right now, but we just got to find a way to get out of it and learn from these lessons.
Brady, everything in professional sports is based on expectations. So consider the ones for the Ottawa Senators at the start of the season. New ownership, very talented young core. This is supposed to be the year the Senators pop. And it may happen yet, but in the meantime, general manager fired, coach fired, and it's been a struggle. Why is there such a gap between the expectations and the Senators' performance so far?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I just think, it's our first year that we've had the expectations, we've had that pressure, and we definitely didn't expect to be in this position that we're in right now. I think coming in, new ownership, we had a lot of great moves we made coming into the season. We definitely expected it to go the other way. So I can't tell you what the single problem is. It's just, you're never out of it. So the Blues are in a position like this, and they ended up winning the cup. So it's we just got to find a way to turn it around, and I think we have the belief amongst each other that if we do that, we can go on a serious run.
Okay, your father, Keith, Walt, as he is known in the hockey world, was a premier power forward. And there he is watching a game in Ottawa this year. He was a tough player. And Louie can attest to that, as the mark on his face, the stick mark on his face, only just healed last week.
You might be able to still see it. He got me really good in Winnipeg one night. Yeah, cross-check to the face. Wasn't even called nothing, but that was how it was. He played the game the hard way, similar to you and your brother. I'll tell you, he was in the thick of things.
Okay, so late March of last year, the Sens beat your brother Matthew's team, Florida Panthers, in Ottawa. It put the Panthers on a 4-game losing streak, and Walt ripped them. He said the Panthers are soft. They're getting everything they deserve. Then the Panthers, led by Matthew, made the playoffs, went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. So the question is, before it's too late, do the Ottawa Senators need some tough love from Walt?
Yeah, I don't know. He was giving himself GM of the Year award last year. So, maybe that's what we need, is a little spark in that aspect.
Is he a pretty straight shooter with you and Matthew as well?
Oh, yeah. He's still, it's as honest as it gets, and sometimes, of course, we don't want to hear it at times, but he's always got our best. He's always got our best interest. So he's as honest as they come.
All right, let's talk about your game, the benchmark of which is you will do whatever it takes to win. Louie.
I call you a unicorn right now in the league, and we're going to see a clip from your brother talking about it too. But the last 2 years, over 30 goals, over 200 hits, over 100 penalty minutes, and over 5 fighting majors. You're the only one that accomplished all 4 of those stats. Where does this come from? Where does this burning desire to be this type of player come from? Has it just come naturally, or is it just the way you've always been?
Yeah, I think, a lot of it has to do with the way I grew up with, Matthew, of being the younger brother and trying to do whatever it took to win whatever we were playing. And I think that drive and hunger started there. But, I think every time I step on the ice, I want to make an impact, whether it's offensively, big hit, emotion, or fight to get the team going. That's something I pride myself in, is trying to leave my mark on the game.
And I put goals first. So they're important too. A 2-time 30 goals scored. I know your brother thinks you can hit 40. I do too. I think eventually that's just the number that'll be easy for you
Well,
to get. But
let's hear from your brother.
Yeah.
We'll keep it in family, and your brother Matthew will sum up your game for us.
He's the best power forward in the NHL right now. Like the pure power in his game, and he hits, he fights, he scores. Just playing him the other day in Florida, he's almost impossible to play against and contain. I'm very proud of him. He continues to work at it every summer, and he always had the offense, but maybe not the offense that some of the other guys throughout the league had. But he's putting it all together, and he's gonna score 40 one year. He's gonna do all that stuff, and he's probably gonna do it while fighting 10 times. Like there's nobody in the NHL like him anymore, and he's the most legit power forward we have in the league right now.
So that was Matthew on the Spit and Chicklets podcast. Brotherly love with some facts mixed in. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's my role model. Everybody knows that, and try to emulate as much as I can to his game, and of course, hearing that from him, his game is kind of on another level that I'm always trying to reach and get to, and he's a motivation every year that I want to be like him. I want to be. What he did in playoffs for Florida and for the city, that's something I want to do in Ottawa.
All right, there have been many Tkachuk Bowls, games between you and Matthew, and they're never going to get old because of the way you two play the game. There's always the requisite shots of the family watching, and we present as the best of most recent times your grandmother, Jerry, watching the game in Ottawa in November, watching as it unraveled. The game between the Sens and Panthers with you and Matthew at the heart of the trouble. What do you think she was thinking?
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, she definitely was probably a little overwhelmed, anxious, but after we have some funny pictures as a family in the kind of in the away area. We went in a separate room, but we just kind of laughed about it, and yeah, she was laughing. She and as you know, our extended family we're sending. Tweets and memes. She's like, "Oh my God, the people that docs are gonna get a hold of this and make fun of me." So that's where she works in Boston. She works at the shipyard there, and where kind of all the cruise ships go. She's like, "Well, I'm gonna be made fun of for the rest of the year now."
Well, I can only imagine what the Tkachuk family in its entirety would think if the two of you ever squared off, Louie.
yeah, I guess the question is that ever going to happen? I know you've talked about that, but the real question for me is, does Matthew want a piece of his little big brother anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know if he does.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to feel.
This was close.
Yeah,
this game got heated up early in the year. And that was close.
This is definitely the closest I think I'll ever get. Yep. But yeah, we kind of were laughing about it after, and just now these games are kind of not how they used to be. Ottawa versus Calgary, where it was fun and kind of made a big spectacle. These are divisional
That's
games.
a lovely
Look at you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Both nicked up the noses.
The picture we have after is we have bruises on our face. He's got the stitches, and it's pretty funny. And then our my dad's in the middle of us, so it's we have some good pictures from after that game.
You two are fierce competitors, but it's clear you have nothing but love and respect for each other. In the world of endorsements, the dynamic between the Tkachuk brothers should be irresistible, and it is in this frequently played car commercial.
Knock it off. Brady, Matthew, that's it. Now I'm going to have to separate you.
Sorry, Mom.
Okay, then, many parents can relate to your mother, Chantel, in that respect. I mean, how many of us on long car rides have turned around and said to the kids, don't make me stop this car? But could I also say that that is some of the worst acting since Michael Jordan in Space Jam?
Chantel was the best.
Oh, yeah.
Hey?
She was a star.
But Chantel was perfect. But you two, on the other hand, a real tilt between the Tkachuk brothers would see you trying to gouge each other's eyes out and trade it punch for punch. How would you explain the tickling there?
Yeah, well, now while we were shooting that, I was going from my seat to the back seat for an hour, and we maybe did about 30 takes of it. So there were times that it got a little too violent. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna need you guys just to tone it down a little bit." So I think they took one of the softer takes that we did, but yeah, that was a fun time. It was a great experience for us three to do it together, and yeah, they definitely took a softer. Take of the video.
What do you think when you see that?
Yeah, it's. I think a lot of people can relate to, like you said, to those car rides growing up. That I think my mom didn't really have to act there. She usually says that, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Okay, we get it, because obviously the commercial has to be fit for public consumption. But here is a much more authentic Tkachuk brothers performance.
Hello, I'm Keith Tkachuk.
And I'm Chantel, and these are our sons, Matthew and Braden.
We'd like to wish all the Blues fans a very safe and happy holiday season.
Happy holidays.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about, Brady. That's about as authentic as it gets, especially your speaking parts.
Yeah, it's hilarious now hearing the Boston accent from my dad. He doesn't have that anymore, and yeah, I guess I couldn't speak till I was like 4 or 5. So that's how I sounded for all those years.
All right, back to the respect that you guys have for each other. I think a lot of people recall the Matthew Tkachuk Friendship Tour, your presence in the playoffs a couple of years ago, first of all in Dallas, and then in Calgary. Tell us about the Friendship Tour.
Yeah, that was, looking back, it was a little bit outrageous, but yeah, I got into maybe a little heat, a little trouble, and but no, I think the one person I cared about was Matthew and what he thought and how he felt about it. But he loved it. I think he got a little superstitious because every time I came, that they won. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and looking back, they're great memories that we had as a family, and to see what Matthew was doing in Calgary at the time, it was pretty cool. And unfortunately, it kind of came to an end shorter than they expected.
Okay, so you weren't out front as much during the Stanley Cup final last year, but you were there for Matthew. Louie.
Yeah, is it true after Game 3, broken sternum, did you have to help him out of bed for Game 4?
Yeah,
that's the rumor going around.
Yeah, that was, I'm not going to lie, probably one of the craziest experiences, just watching. I flew down. I went to a couple of the earlier rounds, but I wanted to see Stanley Cup final game, so flew in. It was Game 4 morning, so I didn't see Matthew in the morning, but I saw him coming back from the rink before a nap and stuff, and he barely could walk. He was in a lot of pain, grinding, and then he wakes up early from his nap and he calls me. He couldn't even yell for me. He had to call me on the phone, and just we're in the room, shooting it, hanging out, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna need your help to lift me up." So he, I couldn't believe that he played in that game. It says a lot about what he's all about, what he wanted to accomplish for that team, for that city.
Well, did you say to him, Matthew, you can't play?
I didn't want to put any negative thoughts. Right when he walked through the door, I went to my parents. I'm like, I don't know how he's going to do it tonight. I'm a little concerned, but he found a way, and unfortunately they didn't win that game. But for him to just be able to do that, it was says a lot about him.
Incredible.
Yeah. Your life changed last July when you and Emma were married. You two have been together for a while. I think you met at Boston University in 2017. How has your life changed now that you're a married man?
You know what? Not so much. It's been great. It's been been a lot of fun. It was a great summer. Great summer of bachelor party, wedding, and spending a lot of time with friends that I don't usually get to. And honeymoon was great. Went to Italy, so it was an eventful summer. And not much has changed. It's been a lot of fun.
So we looked high and low, and we could not find any pictures or video of your wedding. So we'll have to take your word for it in your answer to this question. Were you at any point during the reception shirtless and belting out Mr. Brightside?
100%. That was lock of the day.
Okay. Well, this is some video
become
from
tradition.
Yeah, this is the rehearsal.
This is before the wedding.
Yeah, this is night before. Yeah. So that's.
And you were called to shirtless karaoke action. I guess the question is, are you pretty much legally obligated to take your shirt off and start singing when you hear Mr. Brightside?
Yeah, I think it's getting to the point where I think everybody expects that out of me. So. I got to give the people what they want.
If you would have won tonight, we're going to wheel a speaker.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
We're going to get it going, see if we can make it happen.
I have to do a couple more planks back there to get the old abs going. Mid-season form.
Mr. Brightside, the song by the Killers, was released 20 years ago when you were 4 years old.
Wow. Yeah, I actually went to a Killers concert last year. It was pretty sweet.
And it's still, of course, it's a classic for them. It stood the test of time. Someone got a hold of your wedding guest list and figured out it would be a pretty good NHL team. Were you aware of how nicely it lined up?
Yeah, well, we had a lot of the Ottawa boys there too, and just a lot of those guys just grew up and became close and stayed tight. And yeah, looking back, it's a pretty good team. I didn't even make the team, though.
That's a great roster.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, 2026, possibly.
Yeah, works of magic.
Yeah.
But I didn't even make the team. I'm sitting in the
That's a great roster right there. I got to tell you, that's a great team.
Yeah, somehow you got left off the list.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. We'll have to talk to Big Head Hockey about that one.
Sean Cleary says or asks, without any type of data to prove it, I have to think you lead the NHL in interactions with young fans during warm-ups. Was growing up with an NHL dad and watching how much it meant to young fans a catalyst for you as to how you carry yourself in your career?
I think it just kind of takes me back to when I was growing up watching hockey and having role models to try to be like, and if I can help out the next generation, be a positive influence, role model, and just be a good person that kids want to grow up to be, that's something I find important, on ice, off ice, to try to carry myself to be a good influence for kids.
So Keith, as we said earlier, was a mean SOB when he played the game, and Louie knows that from two perspectives, an opponent and a teammate. But off the ice, Walt, as he's known, I'm going to point that out again, is caring and compassionate, for which he never gets enough credit. So yours and Emma's involvement with the Ottawa Boys and Girls Club tells us that you're a chip off the old block. Tell us about this work.
Yeah, it's something we both found to be very important is, of course, the on ice and trying to be who I am as a person, as a leader. But off ice, it's Ottawa's home, and that's a place we love to be at, and hopefully that we're here for a lot more years, and yeah, that's something we found important to kind of implement ourselves in the community and kind of give back to all the people that had so much support for me from day one and made me feel like I was a part of the Ottawa community right away. So we're really excited and hopefully we have a big announcement coming soon. That should be a lot of fun.
Okay, are you able to give us any sense of what that is?
Yeah, it's just hopefully it's the event works out in the next couple weeks, and hopefully it gets announced pretty soon.
Okay, how much time are you and Emma able to spend there?
Yeah, well, we definitely try to once a month at least. Of course, with road trips scheduling, it sometimes makes it difficult, but we try to go once, twice, 3 times a month and go there. And for me, it's great. It's right after school. Just go there, go right to the gym. Kids are everywhere playing basketball, soccer. Throwing the football around, so just going in there and just kind of being me and having fun with a lot of kids, playing knockout or 2-on-2 or something like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Finally, Brady, goal celebrations, or cellies as they're called, can be unique. I'm not sure we've ever seen this one before. What's it called, and where does it come from?
Honestly, I had no clue what I was doing there.
Little moonwalk
yeah,
there, right?
I don't know what I was thinking, what I was doing. I just I was excited that Timmy made a great play, and then we were in Sweden also. So I don't know if it could be like a opera or something, or like a dance move from a music video. But yeah, I couldn't tell you where that came from.
Well, Keith is a traditionalist. He doesn't even like the train, the parade down the bench after a goal. Louie,
what do you think of that one? The celebrations, is he pretty good with them now? Is he kind of coming out of that shell a little bit in the modern game?
Yeah, he hasn't mentioned anything to me, and I think I've done some pretty outrageous sellies, and where he's like probably thinking to himself, what are you doing? But yeah, he hasn't chirped me too much. I'm trying to think of when the last time he made fun of me for that. But yeah, he's not a selly guy, and he was like that youth hockey that we weren't really allowed to sell too crazy.
Wow.
All right, there is a case to be made for the Tkachuks being the first family of hockey in the U.S., and you strengthen it. You got to get on the bus now and head out to Calgary. Appreciate you joining us today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, our thanks to Brady Tkachuk, Senators captain, for joining us here on After Hours. We'll be back to tidy up at Rogers Place in a moment.